This is a telephone interview that was conducted between the 7th April and today, in fact. We interviewed 2,545 voters from all the 16 regions randomly.
2,545?
Yes.
In a telephone poll. And
yes.
What was the question to them?
We asked them if they support the move to remove the Chief Justice from office. And the answers were strongly support, somehow support, strongly opposed, somehow opposed, neutral, and I don't have an opinion.
I see. And what was the outcome?
The outcome is that 52% of Ghanaian voters support the removal of the Chief Justice, and only 20% oppose it. 10% do not have an opinion, and around 18% were neutral.
So that's what we have on the screen there. You said 52% of the 2,545 of this telephone poll respondents support the removal of the Chief Justice. 18% say, well, they don't have a position on it. 20% oppose, and 10% also are in there as well. But is this a nationally representative poll, the 2,545? Is it across all 16 regions?
Yes, across all the 16 regions.
And in all 276 constituencies?
No, this is a national base, so randomly called numbers from the regions. So samples were assigned to each region, and each region's quota were assigned from all the constituencies. So randomly, whatever number that we are able to get from regional quota, we did that.
I see right. I see the regional breakdown that you gave in the poll as well. Western North region appears to be having the highest in terms of the regional breakdown. 82% of the respondents there. Any reason why?
No, we don't know. These are just random polls. If you look at those regions that are supporting her removal very strongly, you have Western North 82%, Voter region 76%, Savannah 66%, OT 70%, Greater Accra 58%, Ifa Central region 51%, Bono is 72%, Bono 82%. So these are the regions with over 50% support for her removal.
I see, and that straight question to them, whether they want her removed or not, is what you posed to them. There were no follow-up questions as with the responses they gave?
No, there was another question which we haven't published full detail yet. We asked them if she is found to have broken the law. For those who said they oppose and neutral or they have no opinion, we asked them a further question, whether if she is found to have broken the law, would they support her removal? That detail will be released tomorrow, God willing. But it is also, we're fairly divided for those who didn't support the initial process.
I see. But I see another bar graph that represents their party affiliation. So that's a question you ask them as well, as whether they belong to NPP or NDC.
At the end of the survey, we asked them which party they normally vote for. And the response shows that for those who say they are NPP, 16% support the removal, 46% oppose it. For those who say they are NDC, 83% support her removal, but 3% oppose it. And for those who are floating voters, 46% support and 13% oppose. And those who support other smaller parties, 37% support and 9% oppose. And for those who don't disclose their party affiliation, 34% support and 18% oppose.
Okay, so just for the benefit of our viewers, the color code we use to represent these bars, the red bars you see there represents those who are in support.
Who are opposed, red opposed. In your own chart, sorry,
yes, I'm explaining what we did out of your poll.
Okay.
Right, because we had to, as it were, make your poll graphically representative for our screen. Okay, so it's essentially your detail, but then again, redesigning it just for the readership and then also the visibility for our viewers. So what you see there, the red bar represents those who are in support of the question that you asked, whether they support the attempt to remove the Chief Justice, on the part of the MPP supporters or the persons whom you sampled who say they normally vote for the MPP, 16% of them say they support it. And did you follow up to ask them why? Or it was just...
No. This is a close-ended question.
Okay. I see. And 46% oppose. But in the case of the NDC, 83% of the respondents say they support her removal. And did that also cut across some of the regions we know are the stronghold for the NDC?
I mean, yes, it does. If you look at the regions, Western North is 82%, Volta 76%, Kritakra 58%, Oti 70%, Savannah 66%. Now, interestingly, even in the Ashanti region, 37% support, 32% oppose. So majority of by almost 5%. So there are more people in Ashanti region who want to remove as a Chief Justice.
I see. Because then Western North against the Volta region, which is described as the World Bank for the NDC, comes in second. And you say that these samples were evenly distributed? No,
they were distributed based on the voter population of each region.
Okay. So, but obviously there are more voters in the Volta region than the Western North region.
Yes.
So why is it the case that we had the Western North region respondents being the highest in those saying they support?
No, it means that there are a higher proportion of people in the Western North who went to remove than in the Volta region.
In the Volta region. I see. Which is the World Bank of the NDC.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. But, but then again, that leads us to the next conversation also about the position that, for instance, the minority takes. There are others who also hold the view that maybe this poll was premature because the process is ongoing and it hasn't really progressed as yet because of, for instance, the case in court, and the only communication we have is the Chief Justice responding to the petitions. We don't know what the details of the petitions are as yet. Would you agree with those who say that this was premature?
I disagree, because by law or by the Constitution, the process has started, hasn't it? So we ask the voters whether they support the process and the move to remove her. This does not or should not impact on the judicial process. This is a public opinion. And indeed, if you look at the work we did previously on the IGP, unfortunately, you know, the question came after he has been dismissed. And we didn't want to be found in the same situation as the IGP. So we wanted to see the public opinion, whether in favor or not. And that is without prejudice to the legal process that has been undertaken. This is a public opinion, and it's a public opinion, and it will remain so.